Welcome to the 13 Doors journey. We have been traveling weekly together and we've opened up 11 doors already. Today will be the 12th door. And if you're new to this space or you're new to me, this is the Conscious Creator journey. And so we are traveling through 13 different doors, 13 different portals to give you some insights on how to become a conscious creator. And if you're new to me, because some of you are new to me, I have brought through my own interpretation of the 64 gene keys, the 64 human design gates. I call them the 64 archetypes. This was a body of work that was brought through in 2020 with a group of us, and I've continued to steward this. So my mission here is to help people become conscious creators. And what I mean by that is not just manifesting or dreaming or having like awesome spiritual insights, but actually learning how to channel what's true, what's authentic for you. And these systems are amazing because they help you understand yourself, master yourself, share your mastery. So what I do is I work with these systems, human design, gene keys, I Ching, astrology, and bring them all together to make the 64 archetypes. And that's the way that I teach the systems, because we're humans. We like to connect. We're archetypal. We live out mythic lives. So why not connect to the inner archetypes within us as if they are beings, as if they're part of our internal family system, and welcome all parts of ourselves home. So it's not just like information and things we need to learn and collect, but I like it to be practical. I'm a 5/1. I'm a Capricorn rising, high Capricorn season. This is about structure. Today we will be talking about giving your mission, your purpose, a place to land, a container to grow in. And some of you have businesses, some of you are starting businesses. And the best way to see those things flourish is by building a strong foundation for them to grow, to mature, to bloom on and in. The deeper you know your design, the deeper you know who you are, the less you start to abandon yourself, the less you outsource your truth. When we don't know, and we're looking for ways to feel stability or certainty or whatever it is that we're looking for on this journey of being human. It's pretty messy and it's pretty confusing sometimes, and that's okay, right? Because we're learning and we're growing as we're doing it. And there's grace in the learning process, and that's what makes this gentle. That's what can make this graceful. And if we just allow ourselves to tune into our own spark of creativity, spark of creator, spark of the divine, spark of God, whatever you want to call it, we tune into this core essence in us, and it's going to channel, it's going to filter through us uniquely in different ways. So nobody has the same spark of creativity, spark of creation. The divine is going to manifest, express through you in a unique way, like your fingerprint. It's unique. It's you. And we want to tune into who we are and what we want to express. Some of you won't be making businesses, but all of you will be creative. And I don't just mean painting on a piece of paper or dancing through life. I mean creation that courses through our veins. We are creators. We create our lives. We create our worlds. We choose what we wear. We choose what we say if we're conscious, right? And the divine is in you. So this is about your connection to God, your connection to source, universe, whatever language you use. And it's this inner ignition that you have inside of you that says, I'm here for something. I'm here for something bigger. I'm here for something more. I have a purpose, right? It's not about being special, although we are all special. We're unique. And sometimes we have to believe our specialness to then let that go and know everyone's special. And then eventually we're just off being our natural selves, creating in the world. You might feel like I'm meant to build something, or you might have this desire, I wish this was in the world right now. You might be the one creating it. You might be the one manifesting it. You might be the one co-creating it. There's something inside of you that wants to exist in the world when we're unafraid, right? When we're living our truth, when it's allowed to come out. And We're all trying to mend the wounded parts of us, the unhealed parts of us. But once we get to that point where we've done a lot of the healing work, we're beginning to accept ourselves and love ourselves, this stuff is going to naturally bloom and express through you. And nobody can do it like you can. And so when you can connect and tune into yourself, to your mission, to who you are, to what you feel like you want to bring out or create in the world, or what you want there to be more of in the world, if you don't make space for it, it doesn't just disappear. If it's a mission, if it's your purpose, if it's your dharma, it just keeps coming. It just keeps tapping, knocking. It might turn into restlessness. It might turn into frustration or numbness. Numbness is a feeling too. Or this, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. But it pushes you on a journey, right? To uncover, why am I restless? And containers matter. Containers matter because they support you in doing this work, in cultivating, in growing. Right? If you want to create alchemy, it needs a container for the chemical reaction to happen, for the alchemy to occur. You don't just throw it on the table and then hope that it happens. It doesn't really work like that. So we want to have a container for this all to happen. If you have an insight, but then you don't have rhythm, if you have medicine that you want to share, but no structure to offer it, if you have a mission, but no place to put it, then that's going to leak out in all different ways and places and spaces. It's just leaky. It's like the 60th or the 14th, the leaky vessel, the leaky wagon. It just leaks. We need to have somewhere to channel it. Or it's just going to stay trapped inside of you, and you're going to feel this implosion, like, what is happening? Because it wants to get out. So we need to find a way to channel it, but then also have a container to support it. Right? And if we are just channeling our creativity in the world, like, oh, over here, over here, over here, it's a little bit dispersed. It's a little bit frenetic, and it's not really building or growing anything. It just relieves the pressure you're feeling. Oh, okay, I don't feel the pressure anymore. I got that out. But it's still going to keep coming. So if you can create a container for yourself to channel this energy, whether you have a message to share, maybe you want to create a blog or somewhere to put your musings, to put your insights. You know, these social media platforms are amazing, but they could be gone tomorrow. So is there a way for you to create a container that has stability, that's not going to be ripped out from under you? Sometimes containers do need to evolve, and we honor that. But we want to build a container that can hold your mission, can hold your message, can hold your creativity. And I care about this so much because I'm a Capricorn rising. I care deeply about legacy and responsibility to our mission, to what we're building, about building things that last, about creating conscious businesses that don't burn people out, that support what we're building, that actually become living structures, rooted, sustainable, devotional. I have tweaked and evolved and moved through so many different containers in my life. I have the 3 as my pearl, which is the eternal child archetype. It goes from chaos to innovation to innocence. And I'm always consistently waiting for that spark to come from the 60, that pulse. And the 60 is great at creating containers. So I have had to learn with my Capricorn rising, what kind of container does this need to go in? And sometimes I put things in containers that were good for a time, but eventually stifled the creation. Because I had to learn, where does this go? How does this flow? And sometimes we need containers as an incubator, and eventually the real container will emerge. But a purpose-aligned life, it's not just this spiritual idea. Everyone talks about purpose and life's work and all these things, and it's amazing and they're great concepts. But when we are living a purpose-aligned life, it comes with rhythm and consistency, and it's built through stewardship. It's built through clean commitments. It's built through time and energy and devotion. It's about you tuning into your gold standard. What is the gold standard for you? What is it to be in integrity for you, and living every life as, yes, I'm in integrity? Because that's what leadership is too. It's like, can you stand behind yourself? Can you support yourself? You're not here to just tell other people what to do. That's not what leadership is. We lead ourselves first. So we're standing at the threshold of, the 13 doors journey. This is the first door that we went through. And I have created like this whole ecosystem to not only house the 13 doors that we've been going through each week to talk about conscious creatorship, because conscious creatorship needs a container, right? The Zoom is a container. The Facebook groups are a container. I've created a visual aspect so that people can connect to something that is not very physical. So let's look at something so that we can connect to it in a way and then connect to it in ourselves. So I've created Unlock Your Design, the whole ecosystem, and we have been walking the wheel, learning about the archetypes since 2020, right? We have weekly calls on Tuesdays. They have gone since 2020. It may not have been on Tuesdays every day, but it's one of the longest running containers aside from the inner circle, which used to be called Unlock Your Design. It was where the seed of the 64 archetypes were planted. Unlock Your Design was a membership where we gathered and spoke about gene keys and human design. The seed of the hallway of doors was planted in me when I connected to these systems. And I'm sure these systems are awakening something in you. You are becoming conscious about something inside of you, right? Richard brought it through in his own unique way, Richard Rudd of the Gene Keys. Ra Uru Hu brought it through his filter. The 64 archetypes came through my filter, and other people resonated with too. Like they brought through the 64 archetypes with me, and now they're doing their own thing. Even Timothy Brainerd, he brought through the 64 angels. He has his own system now. The 64, like I said on the first door, the red door, it's a field that we all tune into, that we all tap into. We all have access to the 64. It's unique in whatever way it comes through us, right? Richard Rudd, Gene Keys, Ra Uru Hu, Human Design, the 64 archetypes. They're going to come through you, the 64, in different ways. So as the 64 archetypes were coming through me, thank God I know how to create graphics and I know how to create websites, because I had the know-how to create a container for them to live in, right? They started on the free website on unlockyourdesign.com. They started on that. And then I'm like, okay, we need to go deeper into these archetypes. We need a place where all of the information can live. If we want to understand them from a Gene Keys, human design, astrology, all of that perspective, they needed a course. So through the course platform, that's when I started creating the courses and the workbooks, because I knew that they needed more structure. And as a 5-1 with the first line, that matters to me. It may not matter to you because maybe you don't have a lot of first lines, but I'm a Capricorn rising and I have a first line. I have the know-how. But that doesn't mean that the foundation is not important if you don't have a lot of first lines or you're not a Capricorn rising. It just means you might need to hire out or outsource, because all of the lines matter from 1 to 6. It's all part of the puzzle, and we need all of them to create. And it's not just about learning. It's not just a process. It's a creation. We are creative beings. And so as we have gone through this 13-door arc, the red door was about foundation. The red door was the seed of life, the code of creation, the 64. It was about safety, roots. The orange door was about creation, womb, sacral current, Shambhala. We've been talking about Eden, heaven on earth. It's about co-creatorship, being a match, holding the pose, staying the course. I've said that frequently during our journey together. That's what we need to do to bring something through. It starts as an idea, but we have to make it physical. We have to make it in the form. So we have to be a match also for that creation to come through us, to start to come into the density of this world. We've got to make it 3D, 4D, 5D. We've got to bring it down, right? So the yellow door was about sovereignty. It was solar will. It was also emotional freedom. We needed to stop outsourcing our authority and bring it back. What does my inner authority say? It's power, authenticity. It's power without the clench, where you're like, ugh, bracing for impact or for something to come or chaos to ensue or an explosion to happen. It's about having the strong spine, the soft belly, the open heart. We're creating a posture of sovereignty. The green door was a welcoming home. It was about belonging, coherence. This is the field where miracles and manifestations stabilize, here in the heart. It's where your spark of creativity lives. We got to the throat, to the blue door. This was abracadabra. I create as I speak. It's expression, it's manifestation. All of the energy in our being, in our body, comes to this center to be expressed. It's the metamorphosis center. It's the expression center. We're relating, we're communicating. The violet door was the third eye. It was about envisioning to realize. We went through all the chakras, and I gave you meditations, this whole spark of creativity journey, meditations from the root all the way to the crown. So 7 meditations to help you get into these centers. So we've got vision, discernment, conceptualization. We strengthened our intuition and our spiritual sight. It's about vision and visioning to realize we've got to see it. We've got to see it to make it manifest. And we had to learn to trust our inner guidance over all that external noise. What am I seeing here? The magenta door was the crown, was your spark of creativity, was where you got divine spark from the universe, from the field of ideas. This is where inspiration starts. Spark of creativity comes down, lands in our heart, starts to warm us and warm us up to the idea of I'm going to be a creator of this, right? Your spark can come from Gaia, it can come from the divine, it can come up, it can come down, it can come from in your heart, but this spark of creativity, it's for us. We're magnetizing it, or we're creating it within ourselves. There's something that is forming and creating because we're identifying with the thing that we're plugged in and connected to. It's channeling through me. It's moving through me. Calling in aligned people, opportunities through that resonance. Like, what are you attracting into your life? We did the white door, the black door, the silver door. The white door was your light. The black door was your shadow. The silver door was about integrating both of them together. It was lunar alchemy. We integrated the light, the shadow, and we helped resource our nervous system so that we can hold both. The duality. We're living in duality. We need to be able to hold that in our being and not get swept away by the shadow stuff, by the judgment, by the shame, by anything that's coming up. And then last week, finally, we got to the indigo door. That's about truth, belief, the mission inside of you. We connected to the trailblazer, the truth teller. It was about mission, vision, leadership, the power of the underdog too in some cases. We had to tune into our trailblazer energy, be like, what am I for? What do I stand behind? What is my message in the world? And declaring it every day, because we are the ones that are creating Shambhala here. We are the trailblazers. No one has gone there before. Someone has to. Might as well be you. So the invitation today is to the gold door. And if you've been sensing into your spark and you've been getting hints of your mission, maybe you learned and uncovered how you're a trailblazer or not. Not everybody needs to be a trailblazer. But I know that some of us are struggling with delaying, with scattering, waiting for the right timing, just a little more healing. It's not right. I don't have all the details, all the different excuses to delay. Some of them are good. We need that divine timing. We need to be able to feel like, oh, yep, it's ready. But some of it is our excuses, and we need to be able to discern what is an excuse and what is not. Your message and your mission is asking for a container strong enough to hold it. Your mission could be a creation. Your mission could be a blog post. Your mission could be you're channeling something, and it needs a container. It needs something to hold it. And remember last time we talked about creating a container that can hold you and your mission, and then eventually you're expanding it out to create a container that can hold others. We want to create a container that's strong enough for that. So that's what we're doing in the gold door. We're taking the golden thread of your creativity and we're creating a structure, a container with it. Turning it into something that you can steward and the container for inside which you are stewarding it. We're tuning into the rhythm, the structure, the vow, the real home for your work. So this is about making a home for your work. It's your homework is making a home for your work. And when your purpose has a container, It's going to stop haunting you. There's dharma. There are things that are meant to come through you. It's going to haunt you. Your dharma will haunt you. If we don't complete, we repeat. If we don't even answer the call, it just keeps knocking at the door. Hi, are you going to bring me through? This is supposed to come through you. Elizabeth Gilbert talks about creativity too, where we partner and co-create with these ideas that want to be birthed. And some ideas need to come through, want to come out. And if you don't do it, someone else will. It may not come out exactly as you would have done it, but the idea is not going to wait forever. The creation isn't going to wait forever. It will go to someone else. And that's not to create FOMO. No, these things want to be birthed. It's like little souls that want to come in and have a human experience, and it's waiting for you to have a baby. And then you're like, I don't know. I haven't found the right partner, or I'm not ready for kids yet, or I'm not financially secure. Maybe it'll come through someone else because it wants that human experience. It's the same thing. But there are some things that were always meant for you, and the how and the what will change. And it doesn't matter as much as that why that lives inside of you. The mission that's supposed to come through you. It can come through in many different plethora of forms. There's something in you that really needs an expression. Otherwise, we feel blocked. It's like the 39, the liberator archetype, and it's like provocation to liberation. It's stuck. It's a clogged pipe. It's like, I just want to get out. So your life force can't flow, can't channel. So here we're moving into the gold door. This is about sovereign creation. This is the frequency of the creator who stops getting ready, stops getting in the way of itself, and starts taking responsibility for what wants to be born. We're in Capricorn season. This is about responsibility. We will feel the weight of responsibility here. So if we've been lollygagging a bit and getting really airy-fairy and Sagittarius, like dreaming what's possible, it's really time to ground it, to create a structure for it. And that's why we're going to utilize Capricorn season to create that structure. This isn't heavy responsibility, like, I don't want to do this, but I have to do this. No, it's something that you are always meant to bring through, and you're going to find an identification with it. It should get you excited. It's just coming into the birthing of it might be a little bit scary. It's not ready. What if people judge me? What if no one wants it? What if I da-da-da-da? Sometimes we do all sorts of strategies to bring it through, and sometimes we are undervaluing this. This is the gold standard. It has value, and we need to stop charging pennies for something that is magnificent. But it's your prerogative to charge whatever you want. I'm just saying, that's an aside. I see it so many people, including myself, that just aren't charging even at all sometimes for things. So the gold door is when you say, hey, this isn't a hobby anymore. And my work, it's not just a mood. Oh, maybe I'll show up today. Oh, maybe I won't show up today. And it's not waiting for permission. There's no thing outside of you that's going to give you permission. It's something that clicks inside of you. Yeah, I gave myself permission. It's when you say, I will build a structure that can hold what I'm holding. When you create a structure that can hold what you're holding doesn't feel heavy anymore. It's the weight of the promise you already made to yourself. Oh yes, I'll do this. This is my mission. This is my vision. This is my revolution. If it stays in you, it just becomes this weight. And you're like, oh, I have to do this. And then you feel guilt. And then you feel shame. And then you feel all these things because you're not bringing it through. Or you feel flawed or wrong or whatever it is. But as soon as you start building a container for this, it becomes less heavy for you. And hopefully, eventually, you don't identify with this thing anymore so that it gets all muddied up in your identity and your sense of worthiness. This mission is outside of who you are. You can't really put a price tag on this mission. So I think a lot of business owners, sometimes as you're becoming an entrepreneur, we muddy up our business by making it be us. You know, when you have children and it's like, they're my little extension of me. They're not. They're their own sovereign beings, and they have their own trajectory. They have their own lessons and learnings, and what they do doesn't reflect on you. So, I mean, kind of, as a parent, as you're stewarding them, but not really when they grow up. So this is what we're doing with these little business babies, with these little creative babies. They're under our wing for a time until they have their own wings to fly, and more people can interact with them, but you are here bringing them through. So they need a womb. They need a container to grow in. They need a home to grow in until they get old enough to expand out of that. And you will always be the steward of that mission, that purpose, that thing. Other people may come in to support your mission, right? You may be sharing the support of that mission with others, but that's as you're able to grow. So sovereign creation is going to be when you stop outsourcing your authority. It's not about timing. It's not about algorithms or other people's opinions or fear or perfection. We can outsource our authority to perfection. It's not good enough. It's not perfect enough. Or we start treating that gift like this fragile little secret. In the beginning, it might be. It's a seed and you don't want to tell anybody because, it can be influenced, like I told you before. Whenever you have a new idea, keep it to yourself. Grow it yourself first. You got to get it to have roots, and then you can start sharing it. But you don't want to retard it so that it never grows. Oh, you're going to be my baby forever. I'm going to keep you like this little secret. No. Some secrets, eventually they need to be shared, and they'll come to light anyways. Or you're trying to keep the secret and somebody else is creating it and they're sharing it. And you're like, well, I was going to do that. But did you say anything about it? Did you put it out there? Like I said, someone will bring it through. If you are not ready, someone else will. No shame in that either. We're learning, we're growing. We want to create containers before we create more content, before we create more ideas, before we want something to put it in so that our energy stops leaking. So that's what the gold door is about. And we're going to step through this together, taking a vow, a responsibility to our mission. We started to tune into it in the indigo door, and now you're really, okay, this is my mission. This is what I stand for. What can I create from this place? If knowing that this is the common thread between all the things that I'm doing and creating in this world, like this is the thing that standed the test of time. It's what you're identifying with. And it may be a system, it may be something that's already put out there, but you're going to speak it, present it, share it in a way that nobody else has before. You may not be creating something brand new. You may be creating a riff off of something else, but that translation is needed in the world. So what needs to come through you? Let's uncover through this gold door together what kind of container that creation needs. So we shall do that, and we're still in, 2025, also the year of the snake. We're still shedding, but as soon as we get into that fire horse land, boom, it's time to go. I just saw my stallion. Yeah, and my stallion on the rise in the year of the fire horse. Exactly. I'll plug in my wonderful power source. We'll plug into our power source. That's what we're going to be doing together right now. Is first and foremost, I think that we need to tune into our gold standard. We need to tune into our gold door that lives within us, because we're creating a structure built in gold, woven in the gold that is within us. So we're tuning into that spark of creativity, the golden thread of your body of work. It's that one thing that was present the whole time, even when your offerings changed. For those of you that are third lines, I know how hard it is. I know you change a lot, and sometimes you're like, well, if everything is changing, how will people what stays consistent? I know it's hard. It's hard when you're a third line, but there's so much magic and transformation and alchemy that happens with the third line. It just needs a container for that alchemy to occur. So it's just about talking about the container, and while the offerings inside of that might change, the container is what creates the stability. 1-3s, you guys are going to create containers. 3-5s, you're going to have to try to create containers for that magic and that impact to have a place to land. So sometimes that golden thread comes from deep pain. We're initiated through the wound. We're initiated through the pain. And we put a vow in our hearts that says, nobody should ever go through what I went through. And your mission is to help people learn, change, transform, grow, understand how to move through this initiation portal. It's a message maybe that keeps circling you. You keep getting the same message. Like every time you're bringing something else through, like the core of it is that. I know for me, I'm here to learn about Capricorn and business. That entrepreneurial journey was the spiritual journey for me. It woke me up. not before my children woke me up. They woke me up to my dissatisfaction and my learning and my yearning and my longing. I felt like there's something more for me. And I, quite frankly, didn't know who I was. My 10.1 and my purpose sphere was doing all of the identities that other people told me, like, oh, this is what's going to make you happy and this is who you're supposed to be. And I'm like, okay, let me just do that. But it wasn't until I found these systems that I had a structure to be able to learn about myself. And eventually I wasn't asking the question, who am I? And honestly, that's in the shadow frequency of self-obsession. But we go there first. We have to go through the shadow to be able to find our naturalness, our beingness. And our mission doesn't have to be a doing in the world. Our mission is just like emanating your essence into the world. But it has a unique signature. And I think creating containers where people can experience that signature, it helps awaken something in them. So you become an inspiration for them to wake up the part of them. And it's just a whole ripple effect. Inspired, 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 inspired. And we're just, being our natural self here. Some of you are really focused on transformation. Maybe you got a lot of 8th house activation, Scorpio. You just can't stop caring about it. You want to go deep. You want to bring other people deep. You feel like it's your mission to help people go to the depths of themselves. Maybe you're like a mermaid, calling them forward and like, oh, come to the beautiful Cancer waters, and then I'll take you to the Scorpio depths, and then I'll bring you back up to the Cancer waters, because you've had to do that, and you've mastered that. It's something that you do so naturally, because it's always come naturally to you, or it's something that you've mastered over time, and other people can't do. And we got to uncover and recognize ourselves to be like, wow, this is what I do. And then those things need a container, because you've created a container to hold yourself when you went through that process. And that could have been like you create ritual around it where you have a routine and you show up for yourself in a particular way every day. That is something that other people are looking for. They don't know how to support themselves in that way. So you're needing to share that if you want to, if you're called to. You don't have to do anything. It's also the tone of your contribution. Some of you are here to create safety. And you're here to be the Cancer, nurturing, loving, like, oh, let me hug you and hold you during this time. Some of you are about liberation. And you are not someone that's hugging and holding. You're like, let's blow this thing up right now. And it's shocking because you're just here to shock them into that awakening. Or you're the beacon of truth or hope or beauty or devotion or play or whatever it is you're the beacon for. We want to make sure your message gets out there to reach your fractal, the ones that are calling for. You are a wish granted. You are. Not to inflate your ego or anything. You are a wish granted for someone. Someone is asking for you. Someone is making a wish every night. I need help. I need a solution. I need this thing. They don't even know what they need, but they know, please God, help me take this pain away. It hurts so much, right? They don't even know what to ask for. They just know they're in their pain. They're in their suffering. Shambhala, heaven on earth, it's for everyone here. You're creating it for you, but we're also creating it for all of us. People don't have to live a life of pain. They don't have to stay in their wounding forever. You've made it through a lot of really hard trials and tribulations, right? You've been through the ringer in some cases. How did you get out on the other side? Tell me, how did you make it through? Right? I thought I would never figure out who I was. I was so enmeshed. I had so many codependent strategies based on how I was raised, based on what I had to learn, based on how I need to perform. The projection field was strong. There were so many ways I could be like, I am a victim. I'm a victim of this. But freedom, that comes when we take responsibility for our circumstance and we say, all right, I'm going to be the one to change this. We become the game changer, the 55. We're moving into the fire horse. We're moving into 2027. This is about individual empowerment and sovereignty. We've got to know who we are. We've got to master ourselves. We can share our mastery so other people aren't left in the victim state. forever either. Like those people, the rug's going to get pulled from them and they're going to be freaking out. And that'll be the mass people. And when people are in survival, sometimes we don't even recognize the humanness in them. All they're doing is trying to survive. And when someone's in survival mode, no, sir, don't go in there and try to save them. They're just going to drown you. They're drowning. You come in, it's like, oh, let me get on top of you. Right? Not to scare you from, no, don't go out there. No, we got to create containers. We got to create life jackets, life vests. Like, we're not the ones to save. No, that would be, the fifth line in the shadow of I'm the savior. We want people to be empowered. We're the fixer. We have solutions. The fifth line has solutions. The first line is creating a theory, creating a foundation. It's investigating. The second line is natural at it. They're just flowing it. They're just natural in it. They're partnering something. They've mastered it. They're just doing it. They're dancing through life. They're not investigating. They don't need to investigate. They are the fluidity of that thing. They partner. It is one and one is two. How are we dancing with it? Right? They're the hermit. They also need the time away. They need balance. The third line is about experience, right? They can tell you how to get through something because they've been through it. They've been burned in the fire of change. They've had their foundation ripped from them. Oh, okay, experience, new experience. They've had the experience. They feel so humble and relatable. Fourth line is the bridge, is the connector, is the lover. It is here to be like, I'll help you across this bridge. Let me show you where the bridge is. Let me get you from this area to this area. They're the connectors. They're here to connect a fractal with a fractal. Connect a person with a system. Let me share this truth, this system, this thing that I believe in. They're going to make you feel. Third line, fourth line makes you feel. Fifth line, teacher, mastery, leader. They're here to be the practical ones. They're here to be the ones that offer the solutions. Point in that direction, give you a structure. Say, okay, we're going to do it over here, right? Create a course, create a workshop, create a whatever, something really practical, usable. They're here to bring it into the 3D. Sixth line, they're just out there being themselves, inspiring other people like, wow, I can't believe your life is like that. Wow, I can't believe it's so easy for you to, wow. They're just called out of the crowd. If they get off their damn mountain, come down, be human. They've gone through phases, third line, for the first part of their life. Then they get on the roof. And hopefully, eventually they get off the roof. And they're the sages. They're the wise ones. They're the ones sharing what they've learned when they're asked. They're not just out, hey, everybody, I'm a leader. And I'm a teacher. And come listen to me. They don't even do that. But they do get invited to share. So what must we commit to when we feel this spark? And we're beginning to know who we are. We're like, okay, this is what I care about talking about. This is what I care about creating. This is the movement I want to create. This is the event, the lifestyle. I want this in the world. And then I'll invite people into this to have this in the world. You want to know what you're devoted to. What does true devotion look like? But when it's not coming out, when we keep postponing, where are we avoiding? Where are we littling? Where are we having these distractions? Where are you leaking your life force? Something's calling you to bring it up, and then you're over here doing the thing. Oh, we'll get you in a second. And then it never comes. But when a mission is laid on your heart, because the world needs it, the world is actually calling you to rise up. It's the collective. It's not just you. It's not this selfish thing. It's actually that they need your lighthouse. They need you to come forward. Like it's a call from humanity that says, hey, we need you. And you've agreed to it at some level, at some soul level. You have agreed to it because all of your life has been about gaining the wisdom, the insights, the experience to be this person, this role in the world. And because you've already agreed to this at some level, you know you've agreed to this at some level. where do you keep breaking your own word? It's a promise that subconsciously you made as a soul. And that's why you feel the restlessness, and that's why you feel the pressure, and that's why you feel all these feelings and things, because at some level it was a promise you made. And then we keep breaking our promises. We don't need to feel shame or guilt about breaking the promise. Like, we have awareness and it's coming up. Sometimes we say, no, it's not time, because really we're saying, I'm scared. My gosh, it's okay to say that we're scared. It is reasonable to feel scared, especially if something feels so powerful. But we are expanding our container to hold more of that power. It is powerful. The movement is powerful. The message is powerful. And sometimes the message comes out and it doesn't land because we're still trying to figure out how to say it. The translation is translating through us in time. But we need to start opening our mouth to say it and to trust that eventually it'll come out in a way that, like, wow, that's it. Because you're saying, it's crazy the way channeling happens. It's like you're bringing it through. You might be hearing it for the first time as you're saying it. And then every time after that, you keep repeating it. And it starts to ingrain. You're a match for this thing. It just keeps coming through you. And eventually, when you say it, it like landed somewhere deep in you. And it's no longer a thing you heard in your, like, clairaudiently. Like, oh yeah, that sounds really good. And you're saying it and you're like, wow, that's really good. Eventually, it's like, you've had an experience. You've lived it. Now you know what it means. You're like, oh. And when people hear it, there's a weight to it. And then it guides them towards where this thing lives in them. And then eventually they start metabolizing it and integrating it. And eventually they feel like, whoa, that's it. But we got to start talking first, right? With this 13 Door series, half the time I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I didn't plan it out from day one to, I knew, let's follow the chakras. Let's see what comes out in each of these chakras. And the culmination of this, this whole thing is about conscious creatorship. So what little nugget do we need to know to become conscious creators? And some things I've said for the first time, and I'm trying to implement myself. I'm like, okay, some things I'm channeling, some things I know, because I've already lived it. And so little tiny messages come out randomly. It's like, oh, notice that. Okay, Ashley, you're saying it to them, but it's also for you. And then I can't be a hypocrite, so I got to do what I'm telling you to do. It's like coming out of me like, oh, I better do what I'm saying other people to do. Right? And also, so many people have missions and things that they're putting out in the world, and it can get really noisy. And I think with the onset of ChatGPT, it's super easy to translate our message now, but it all sounds the same. And so is it landed, or did it come from ChatGPT? I don't know. So there's a lot of noise now. What comes from inside of us and what has weight to it. As you're speaking, you're creating. The abracadabra feels powerful. You're speaking and it's creating worlds versus you're speaking and it's like, it just feels hollow. And sometimes too, the noise is the noise we're creating. We're tweaking our branding forever. We're making content that has no container. We're giving everything for free. We're like, oh, here's this. But then it doesn't seem to be cohesive. It doesn't have a structure. It's like the spark archetype, the one. It's frenetic and it's just like a little bit of ejaculation over here, a little bit of ejaculation over here and over. And if you channeled it into one area, it would grow. Or it's like the fourth line where it's taking every invitation and collaboration or idea. It's like, oh, I might not get another one, so let me partner with this one or this person or this person. And then you have so many misaligned connections and collaborations that it's very hard to find that golden thread or that red thread. What is the path? I took on too much and now it's just all confusing. Some of you heal as procrastination. Some of you learn as procrastination. Some of it is necessary because we also need to build the foundation. We don't just want to go out there and be like, oh, I am a master of this, but I've never done it and I'm not certified in it and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to say it because it's such a vibe and a hype right now. No, someone else's mission is not your mission. Some people will jump on the Gene Keys or human design train and then be like, oh, okay, let me just put this out here. And it's like, you feel like they're not living it. They're just like regurgitating some stuff. And that's for anything out in the online world. So many business coaches, so many people that are trying to give you formulas for how you're going to make it. Some of them are helpful. Some of them are just noise and a way for them to make money. So as we're tuning into our mission, into that golden thread, you can just put your hand on your heart. And I want you to just find the thing that just keeps knocking at the door of your heart. It's the mission, it's the message, it's the movement, it's that thing that won't leave you alone. I told you mine is conscious creatorship. It's creation, it's business, it's the spark of creativity. That's been with me this whole time. That's came with me like 2015. Spark of creativity. So there's something in you that has been with you all along. And even before that, I'm sure spark of creativity wasn't named and it was with me the whole time. It's like God, it's like Jesus. Not to get religious or spiritual, let's just talk about the universe. You're not alone. God is in you. God is walking with you. Universe, spark, source with you all the time. We're never separate from it. And like I said, your spark of creativity is a unique fingerprint. That expression of God, source, spark, universe has always been with you. Always been channeling through you. It's just you're orienting with it and learning yourself. Getting to know that spark. Getting to know your signature through experience, through what you say, what you wear, what you choose. Every day what you choose. This simple test to help you understand if this is your mission, if this is your spark, is when you're getting ready to do something with it or put it, is it creating more coherence in your life and work, or is it scattering? Does the energy feel like it's organizing, like it's got some structure to it, or does it feel like it's just going out? Sometimes those things feel like that, and we're creating the container to pull it in. So if you're tuning into the thing, and you can use your hands and tune in and like, okay, what does this feel like? Is this mine? Is it like slipping out? And you're just feeling the content of this. So if some of you are still trying to figure out how to tune into this, just imagine these golden threads. They're in you, they're coming out of you, they're like all over the place. It's kind of like your aura. Your aura can be wide, it can be small. These golden threads, they're everywhere. I want you now to begin to use your breath, breathing in to bring them in, breathing out to let everything that's not them fall away. So just keep breathing in those golden threads. If you feel some behind you, God to bring you, include you, bring you all here, right? Somehow I feel like this golden thread starts in your heart and it comes out of your chest and it's bringing you on a trajectory. This might be your movement, your mission, but it's also moving you. And it's giving you a clear path. So you can even braid these threads together. And if you don't know how to braid, just twist them. Because I know French braid is kind of hard too. So let's just twist them. Weave them together somehow. We're keeping them together. We're not frazzling them, fraying them. And when you start to feel it frazzling and fraying, you're giving your nervous system more support and you're saying, okay, what more structure do I need? Just keep tuning in. It's going to give you more clarity each time you tune into this golden thread. It's your movement, it's your mission. And you can even tune into this thread that you're on, that you're pulling towards, right? Be a match, hold the pose, stay the course. Like all of this has kind of led us to here where, oh wow, I've always been a match to this golden thread. Stay the course. I can't not be moved towards this. It's connected to me, from me. My spark of creativity, that's the source, that's the home of it. And it's kind of like giving me this direction, right? You're feeling the direction. It's almost like the G center. Love, identity, direction. Who am I in this gold thread? Where am I going in this gold thread? Doesn't matter if you have an undefined identity center or not, we all have this golden thread. Did I say red thread? I might have said red thread. Golden thread, red thread, rainbow thread. I don't care. Like, is it whatever color? It's unique to you. It can be whatever you want it to be. I say golden because we're gonna be golden. We're going up, up, up with our mission. So you continue to tune into this golden thread. It'll give you insights. It'll give you information. We talked about being the trailblazer, the indigo door, the change maker. No one is ever going to create what you're going to create in the world because you are so unique, and the world needs to hear that. You remember, you are a wish fulfilled. So you keep traveling on this golden thread, you're going to find yourself feeling things coming up, coming out, being inspired. Okay, what kind of container does this need? You want to be able to hold it and house it. It's your destiny. What is the price of your destiny? Right? Because every time we get distracted, it's like we're pulling ourselves away from it. This is powerful because it's where people stop fantasizing and start embodying. So we have to feel the value of this golden door, of this golden thread. Like, wow, valuable. It's the gold standard. I'm walking this. I'm living this. Your destiny requires you having discernment to say no to things, to have boundaries, to be seen, to be heard, to finish what you start. We let our work be imperfect in public because it's being perfected over time through us. Consistency is something also that honors your rhythm. We show up every day, but if we need support, we're like, okay, rest day, okay, inspiration day, okay, learning day, okay, and we feel into what's in alignment today that's going to keep me moving towards this personal movement. The Alchemist is a great book. If you guys haven't read it, it's like everybody has, this personal myth, this mission, the thing that lives inside of you. I think they call it the personal legend. I feel this really strongly, this journey into the desert of our being to find the gold, to find the gem, to find the thing that we've been seeking. But it's within us all along. So can we strike gold inside of ourselves and cherish it and honor it? We're not exploiting it like, oh, I'm going to make money off of this. Oh, I'm going to share it and martyr. If it's valuable, how do you value it? And how do you cherish it? You're also teaching other people how to treat you based on how you treat yourself. Love, self-love. So the shadow of this gold door is, I just need one more sign. When things calm down, then maybe I'll do this. After the holidays, when I feel more confident. Some of those are excuses. Overgiving, undercharging, it's also the shadow. We don't know the worth yet, so we don't value it. So then we're just like kind of like hoping someone else will tell us that it's valuable or worthy. So we put it out there for free, or we give it, and then it's like, so what's your reflection of this? And there's no shame in like getting a reflection of it, but if we're doing it in an unconscious way, then that becomes our MO and our pattern of, I don't really know how to do this. I know that some of you with an open ego center, you struggle with this, right? And that's the area that you're here to gain so much insight and wisdom. All of your open centers are where you gain the most amount of wisdom over time. We don't want our work to leak. We don't want to go into resentment or depletion. And we don't also want to, let me just give free coaching everywhere, or put all these things everywhere. I'll just add one more thing to make it worth it. And then it's like, then it gets so far away from what the purpose is, and there's just so much stuff. I mean, I've done that in Unlike Your Design before too. Like, oh, here's all this stuff in here, but what's like the focus? What's the purpose? Or you have scattered creation. You have 12 projects that you began and didn't finish, or you're constantly reinventing yourself, but you don't know the common thread, the gold thread, the red thread. And so it just seems so, oh my gosh, it's everywhere. But we have to be conscious and aware of why things are evolving, why things are reinventing. So we have to be mindful of our decisions and our actions. Why am I reinventing myself? Am I addicted to beginning? Am I allergic to the middle? Am I scared that if I commit, I'm going to be trapped? Like, that's a fear of structure. Am I afraid that if I choose one thing that I'll lose freedom? Right? Because we have the things that we value. And if you value freedom, then sometimes like things that are like not as high on that level, like you're going to say no to the thing because you value freedom. But your mission, your movement has to be bigger than all the fears. It's got to be the thing we put on top. But we have to recognize it, see the value of it, know that it's gold, and put it above all else. That's where you become, the identity falls away, right? The movement is going to maybe teach you who you are, and eventually you're not, the self-obsession falls away, and then the being occurs, and then you're not even doing anything for yourself. You're doing it for the I am, for the whole humanity, but you're not a martyr because you also value your life, your being, your message, your movement, your thing. It's like a blossoming. Or you're creating without a container. You have beautiful transmissions and things that you're sharing, but they don't have anywhere to land. You're posting into the void. You're sharing into this echo chamber, and nobody can hear you. Your energy is hemorrhaging. You're creating so much, but you're in inertia, and you're not really building anything. I've been there. Oh my, I've been there. So the gold medicine, what does this gold feel like in my body? It feels like, first and foremost, we've got to get things down packed in the indigo door. You need to feel into, what is my mission? What am I trailblazing? What wants to uniquely come through me, through my spark of creativity? What is my spark of creativity? Once you understand that, then everything you do comes from that. It's organized around that place. You have clean commitments. This is my yes, this is my no. There's relief in every decision that you make. You have sacred boundaries, right? A container needs boundaries. You have boundaries. You have commitments. You're creating a structure for you to be in and then for others to join you in. Devotion is going to outlast a mood, is going to outlast if you feel like it or not. Because if you have children, you got to feed them. If you have plants, you got to water them. If you have a garden and you're wanting a harvest, then you got to show up and you got to give the garden what it needs. Otherwise, at harvest time, you won't have a harvest. So we've got to show up every day in some way. We have to be in integrity with our time, with our energy, with our money, with our message. Your calendar matches your values, what you're working towards. We're pricing things accordingly. We are learning how to steward the thing. And every day, how can I steward this in a more aligned way? I think of the steward as the shepherd, and you have your flock of sheep. And it's like, what do they need? How do they steward them? If they've eaten all the grass here, how can I bring them to new areas? Like, how are you keeping them together and not letting them... We're learning that art of authority and control. That's the 21. The 21's called the steward. It's the shepherd. And we need to know like the edge of the edge of the edge and where are all the parts and pieces. That's why too we tuned into that golden thread and we want to bring them all in. We want to weave them together. We want to have all of the pieces, and every time we're aware of more of that golden thread, we weave it in. We weave it in. And that's just on the energetic realm. There's so many things on the physical realm. How are you setting up your office, your space, your calendar to support you? That's the structure. That's the magical container. Because remember, like I said in the indigo door, you've got to create a container for yourself first. And then you create container for other people. But it really needs to support you. How are you going to know if you can support other people if you're not supported? Right? You're not creating containers so that other people can support you monetarily, like validation wise. Like you have to ask, like, what's my come from? So you support yourself and you prime your nervous system and you be a match, you hold the pose, you stay the course, you create a structure that will that will last the test of time? Does what you're saying match who you are, the truth, or are you bullshitting? Do you trust yourself? Are you outsourcing anything? And it's okay to outsource certain things to create a better structure, but you never outsource your authority or your truth. How are you becoming a leader? If you're leading this mission, this movement, this creation, I guess it's about tuning in and being like, okay, I'm responsible for this. We can't outsource responsibility. Otherwise, is it yours? Are you stewarding it? Might as well just give it to someone else to do. And leadership and responsibility means that if it fails, like, you take responsibility. If it succeeds, you take responsibility. And you learn so much about yourself. I said the entrepreneurial journey is the spiritual journey. You learn so much about yourself, your capacity, your perseverance, your ability, what you are capable of, because you put yourself on a limb. There's no other structure you're in. It's so easy to go work in a corporate job, and then the corporate is holding you. But then when you have to create your own structure, oh my gosh. It tests you. It refines you. And it illuminates too. Like, what do you want to do? You understand 14, compromise, competence, bounteousness. You stop saying yes to things that are not aligned and that are incongruent with who you are. When people get older, past your Chiron return or your Uranus opposition, you start to evaluate the energy coins that you have that you can spend. And you're like, I'm not going to, those people, no, I say no to, like, you just start discerning what is allowed to be in your life. And you get way more focused on, if I have this much time, this is how I want to spend it. Because it's like money, it has value. You start to recognize the value of that. So we just continue to take a breath, to feel into the weight of your life, to feel into what's real for you. What do you keep returning to? What do you talk about that makes you come alive? That's going to let you know that you're on mission, that you're on track, that you're identifying with it, that it brings life to you. What theme has been woven into every door that you've opened? If you could teach one thing or offer one thing in the next year, what would it be? One thing that you can do. Like, if I told you, like, I need you to come on stage, I want you to teach about something, I need, like, there's a slot, and, like, what can you teach? What can you share? What message do you think everybody needs to hear? And it's not something you need to prepare for. So you're tuning in, you're feeling into, what is your golden thread? That's your mission, your spark of creativity, what's moving you. It's what's been with you your whole life, and you want to be able to name it. And that it may refine over time. You want to do, like, a little bit of a creator audit as well. There's questions that you need to ask yourself as a creator. First, you want to know what your mission is, the truth that you're going to build for. So what are you devoted in restoring in the world or creating in the world? You also want to be aware of your leaks. Where do you drain? Where do you sabotage? What steals your energy on repeat? Where do you abandon yourself? Your standards. What you require. What you need to create sustainability. What boundaries are going to protect your nervous system, your art, your creations. And, like, a vow to yourself, a promise to yourself. If you know that something wants to come through you, you want to steward that, and you're going to do, like, a 90-day commitment where you're going to decide how you're going to steward this. What are you going to finish? What are you starting and finishing? And that's going to require a container. So you want to ask yourself in the container blueprint, what container do I need to support this mission? To support this thing that I want to bring through. Maybe it's a workshop. Maybe it's a blog post. Maybe it's a series of blog posts. Maybe you want to do a meditation series. Maybe I don't know what you want to do, but whatever it is that you want to do, you want to have a container that's going to support it. And that could be a practice container where 1 hour per week or what you show up at the same time, the same day with one focus. Maybe you're writing a book. You show up at that same day, that same time, and you just write, or you record, or you create, or you outline. You just keep It's like the 9, the power of the infinitesimal. 1 day a week or all days of the week, but the same time, the same day, you create a structure for that. And you say, I'm committed. I'm going to show up. I'm going to keep my promise. And you do it. Even if you have a creative block, even if you don't know what you're doing, you just show up and you write something. Right? Or maybe you're past that and you want an offering container. And you're giving your medicine, you're getting the thing that you've uncovered a deliverable form. That could be a workshop. That could be a one-on-one session. That could be a 4-week journey. It could be a mini course. It could be an audio series. But you're in that 90 days, you're finishing that offering. One offering. One promise. Like, what are they getting at the end of this? One transformation. That's that one transformation they get. Something people can say yes to. You're creating a container that other people can come in. Right? Some of you might need a container where you're creating the creation in. Some people need a container to then structure the thing that you're offering the world to, and you're creating something that other people can come into. Or you're creating a community container, just like walking the wheel. You're creating something that you show up to every day and you keep inviting people into. It's a weekly call. Or maybe it's a prompt, like a thread prompt in your Facebook group. And I don't know what it is. It's just something that the community can engage in. And it brings in this sense of belonging and then also momentum and consistency. And it's like, okay, we're going to show up in this community, in this container every week, and this is what I have to do. Or you're creating some kind of immersion with like a beta circle of like 5 to 20 people. And you're doing it together. Maybe you create a Facebook group and you're like, I'm inviting these people in and we're going to gather around this topic or this thing and this is what we're going to do together. But you got to pick a container that's going to support what you're doing. Sometimes you're creating a container just for your thing to be created in. And sometimes you need to get out, like you already have that thing, and then you need to create a container for other people to engage with that thing in. So that's the assignment, is to really tune into that golden thread and then also create the golden container for it to be in. You value that thing. It's come from you. And it's a wish granted for someone out there. And we don't judge how many people buy it or say yes to it or whatever, because you are also amplifying your broadcast. If nobody's listening right now, then you can't expect millions to listen. You show up consistently every day and people get to know your mission and your message. And then they start to buy into it and they're like, yeah, I want that in my life too. Yes, I resonate with that. You're saying what I felt inside of me. But you got to keep showing up and keep having more and more people hear it, interact with it, believe in it. And then it becomes a movement. But movements aren't created with a bajillion people all at once. There's always this one lone nut crazy person that has an idea that's like, I think I want to do this. And if you start doing it, you can be the role model of it. And then someone else is like, oh my God, I love that. I do it too. Then you got 2 people. And then now it's become a movement, because now it's just like, first it was the lone nut just doing their thing. And then someone says, I want to do that too. You've got a movement now. Now you got 2 people doing it. You can even just partner with someone and be like, look, we're both doing this. Let me tell you, partnerships definitely help when you are first beginning, because you're sharing the mission, you're sharing the message, you're sharing the movement. There's other things that go into this that come into the alchemy of it, and we'll talk about it at another time, but it helps. If you feel like, I don't know how to do this on my own, but somebody that you've been talking to wants to do the same thing, partner with them. Do it together, right? So that's the assignment with this gold door, is we need to tune into our gold standard, our gold thread, the container that's going to support the movement, the mission. If you still don't know what your movement or mission is, then you need the container, the incubator, for it to rise up in you, for you to identify it and be like, this is what I would live for. This is what I would die for. This is what I feel the world needs. I will be the steward of this. I will be the champion for this. It's something that you feel so identified with. And you doing it is also healing something in you. You're like, oh, I don't know. Just being a champion for that is a reward in and of itself. You may not even need to get paid, because you just enjoy, you're fulfilled. You go to bed and you're like, oh, I did what I needed to do. And that doesn't have to be in business. It could be family. It could be your art. It could be your expression. It could be the conversations that you have. Like maybe you care about intimacy and depth in relationships, and you're like, every day I'm going to check in with my fractal. What does the world need right now? What do you need? And then from that, knowing that you're also a wish fulfilled. The world wants it too. So, and the goal doesn't need to be a hustle. We have enough of that hustle mentality here. This gold door is the structure that protects your cycles, that protects your spark of creativity, that allows it the space for it to bloom, to grow. So gold is devotion that makes room for the rest. We're not abandoning our mission because we're making home for it, to live in us and to live in our lives and to live in other people's lives. It just keeps expanding. Okay, so tune into that and allow yourself to rest in the golden thread and to feel into, all right, let me weave it together a little bit more, feeling into my direction, my trajectory. Where is this moving me towards? What is the content? What is the information that lives in the golden thread in me? And does it need a vehicle? Does it need a container? What would support it in becoming real here in this world? First in your life, then in others' lives. Okay, thanks for you guys that tuned into the live stream on Facebook. I'm going to shut that down, and then all of us that are here together in the Zoom room will have a little bit of a discussion and reflection, okay? Thank you for joining me on door 12 of 13. Good luck in the gold door this week. Thank you.